In deep hypnosis, we recall past events. Previous incarnations, death, and the soul's return to the afterlife, as well as our sojourn in the spirit world, our spiritual home. As early as the 19th century, it was discovered that under the influence of hypnosis, people could recall their previous incarnations. Since the 1960s, this phenomenon has been used in hypnotherapy. During hypnosis, patients discovered that many of their problems stemmed from events from previous incarnations. For example, a person suffering from inexplicable chronic leg pain discovered that in a previous life they had been a soldier who had been bayoneted in the leg. After working through such an event with the help of a hypnotherapist, the problem often disappeared. During one of these sessions, something extraordinary happened. It was 1968. American psychotherapist Dr. Michael Newton was conducting a hypnotherapy session. The patient was a woman complaining of feelings of loneliness and isolation. Dr. Newton asked the hypnotized patient to find the cause of her current loneliness. He also asked her if she had ever had a particularly close group of friends whom she missed. Then the patient began to cry.
I miss some of the friends in my group. And that's why I'm so lonely on Earth.
Where exactly is this group of friends?
Here in my eternal home. Right now, I'm looking at them all.
And that was the moment when the gates to the spiritual world opened for Dr. Newton. It turned out that with the help of deep hypnosis, memories from the period when, between incarnations, we reside in our eternal home, in heaven, in the afterlife. From that moment on, Dr. Michael Newton devoted himself to exploring the spiritual world with the help of hypnotized patients. In the 1970s and 1980s, he conducted hypnotherapy sessions with thousands of patients. Through them, he obtained information about the spiritual world. Their stories were consistent, and it seemed they all saw and described the same spiritual world. This program will present the results of his years of research into life in the spirit world. The journey to the spirit world during a hypnosis session begins with a scene of death in a previous incarnation. Patients describe in detail their experiences of the first moments after the death of their physical bodies. These memories are similar to those of people who have experienced clinical death. Patients describe floating around their bodies. Many of them try unsuccessfully to touch objects and contact living people. One patient described the first moments after death this way. He died in 1918 during the Spanish flu epidemic.
Oh my God. I'm not really dead. I mean, my body is dead. I can see it below me, but I'm floating in the air. I look down and see my body sprawled on a hospital bed. Everyone around me thinks I'm dead, but I'm not. I want to scream, "Hey, I'm not really dead." It's unbelievable. The nurses are covering my head with a sheet. People I know are crying. I should be dead, but I'm still alive. It's strange. My body's completely dead, but I'm floating above it. I'm alive. So, I rise higher. I'm still floating, looking at my body. It's like watching a movie, except I'm in it. The doctor is comforting my wife and son. My wife is sobbing. I try to reach her mind, to tell her I'm okay. She's so overcome with grief that I can't. I want her to know that my suffering is over, that I've freed myself from my body, that I no longer need it, that I'll be waiting for her. I want her to know that, but she isn't listening. Oh, I'm drifting away.
Many souls remain on Earth for a while at this point. Some try to comfort their loved ones. There are also souls who stay for a longer time for various reasons. These may include unresolved issues or attachments to material possessions. The next stage of a soul's journey after death is its passage to the spiritual world. This usually takes place through a tunnel, which is a portal leading to the other side. After passing through the tunnel, souls feel a sense of returning to their spiritual home. When entering the spiritual world, people often see beautiful landscapes or familiar places intended to help them adapt to the new world. These may be meadows, mountains, or places where the soul felt comfortable during life. The first person we usually meet after death is our personal guide. Deceased relatives or soulmates often appear as well. They are all waiting for us. This welcome reinforces our sense of having returned home. However, not everyone receives such a welcome upon returning to the spirit world. There are souls that have been so severely damaged that they are separated from the main group of souls returning from Earth. These souls are called displaced souls. They can be divided into two types. One is those who refuse to accept the fact that their physical body is dead and refuse to return to the spiritual world. The second type of souls are those who, in their human bodies, have been corrupted by participation in criminal activities. These souls, unwilling to return to the spiritual world, become ghosts, wandering the earth for many months and years. Sometimes they frighten people or try to negatively influence them. Over time, they too eventually return to the spirit world. On the other hand, souls who have committed very evil deeds spend a period of time in isolation before re-entering the spiritual world. These souls have no contact with other beings for a considerable period. This is not a punishment, but rather a place where the soul's consciousness undergoes a transformation. Such a soul will suffer the consequences of its evil in the next life, choosing its own way to repay the debt. After meeting the beings who welcomed us at the gateway to the spiritual world, we enter a space that is a place of soul healing. A stay on Earth leaves numerous traces and emotional wounds in the soul. During this process, the soul is cleansed of the negative impurities of earthly life. This is how one of Dr. Newton's patients described it.
I enter a more enclosed space, which is the vestibule of a realm of pure energy. I see a bright, warm ray of light. It reaches me as a stream of liquid energy. It resembles steam, which initially swirls around me and then gently touches my soul as if it were alive. Then I absorb it as fire. I am cleansed and cleansed of my wounds.
After this shower of healing energy, the soul goes to meet its spiritual guide. Every soul has its own spiritual guide. This is an advanced soul who serves as our guardian in earthly life and advises and guides us in the spirit world. During the meeting with the guide, the recently ended life on Earth is discussed. The guide is polite but inquisitive during this conversation. The conversation concerns not only what we have done in our lives, but also what we could have done but didn't.
I'm going to see my advisor. His name is Claudius. I'm going to do a sort of self-examination. We go through this after each of my incarnations, but this time I'm really in trouble. Because I killed myself. There's no such thing as a punishment for suicide, but Claudius will be disappointed to learn that I'm running away from my problems and didn't have the courage to face my problems. Choosing suicide, as I did, means I'll have to come back later and deal with the same problems again, or in another life. I'd simply wasted a lot of time saying goodbye to the world too soon. Well, they won't give me a medal. I feel sad about what I did. We talk about being a prosecutor. I accused and convicted people. I was impressed by power, money, and women. Yet my plans for that life were to help poor people as a lawyer. I had strayed so far from my plan. I had strayed from the path.
At this point, the soul is ready to continue its journey to its permanent residence in the spirit world, to the place where the soul belongs in the spiritual world. This is where our soul group resides. These are the souls closest to us. This is where we reside with them. Such a group usually numbers between 3 and 25 souls. A soul group is like a combination of a school class and a family. These are the souls closest to us with whom we live not only in the spiritual world but also often incarnate together on earth as members of the same family, friends, or spouses. We learn and grow spiritually together. Such a soul group is overseen by a spiritual guide whose task is to ensure the soul's development. He also watches over the souls while they live as humans on earth. People often associate it with a guardian angel. Members of a soul group are closely linked for eternity. When a soul returns to its group, it is summoned before the Council of Elders, composed of highly advanced souls. The council carefully analyzes the soul's actions in its recently completed life. Council members point out how their talents could have been better utilized and which of our actions promoted the soul's development.
The path you have chosen is paved with shadows.
Higher energy is also present at the council meeting.
Unafraid?
The energy of our Creator who watches over us and the entire spiritual world. Souls in the spirit world don't reside solely within their own soul group. They can engage in many different activities, from learning to various creative endeavors. They can study knowledge or review their past lives, analyzing their actions and past mistakes. There are also vast spaces where one can meet other souls from outside their own group. Of course, there is also room for laughter, humor, and fun. Each soul develops gradually with each incarnation. It begins as a beginner soul, and when it reaches a certain level of development, it ceases incarnation in the physical world. With each subsequent incarnation, the soul's understanding and wisdom grow. As the soul develops, the color of the light it emits in the spiritual world changes. Beginning souls glow with white light. As the soul develops, the colors change through shades of yellow to blue. The color of the most advanced souls shifts to shades of dark blue and violet. Dr. Newton examined the level of spiritual advancement of his patients. His statistics indicate that 3/4 of the souls currently inhabiting human bodies are in the early stages of development, while only 10% of people are advanced in spiritual development. A beginner soul can experience many incarnations in a state of confusion and dissatisfaction, subject to earthly influences that differ from the coherence and harmony of the spiritual world. Less mature souls tend to subordinate their will to the control of human society, with its socio-economic structure that places a significant portion of the population under the control of others. An inexperienced soul is, as it were, rigidified by a lack of independent thought. It also tends to focus on itself and does not easily accept others as they are. To balance this, it is also important to add that beginner souls also possess many positive traits and are able to weave them into their lives. Soul development is a complex matter. It makes uneven progress in various areas. For example, one of Dr. Newton's patients was unable to overcome her feelings of envy throughout 850 years of incarnation. Another spent 1,700 years searching for ways to authoritarianly rule others. This person had at least learned compassion. When a soul reaches the middle stage of development, it already demonstrates a high level of ethics and morality. Such individuals are more composed, more trusting, and less suspicious of other people's motivations. Such individuals demonstrate an optimistic faith and confidence in the future of humanity. These souls often began their incarnation process around 30,000 years ago. Although there was one patient who reached this stage after 4,000 years of incarnations. Over time, souls reach the highest levels of advancement. They conduct their charitable activities in a calm and unobtrusive manner. They do not indulge themselves, and their fulfillment lies in supporting the improvement of other people's lives. They focus less on institutional matters and more on improving individual human values. A characteristic of advanced beings is their patience with others and extraordinary adaptability. They most often pursue professions that help people or combat social injustice. Some of them began their incarnations on Earth as early as 100,000 years ago. After reaching a high level of development, the soul ceases incarnation in the physical world. Its further development takes place in the spiritual world. Souls on the other side of reality have the knowledge that they are immortal. The soul lives forever, and in this infinity it participates in the creation and creation that never ends. However, before a soul reaches this level of development, it must continue incarnation. After a certain period spent in the spiritual world, it again prepares for another birth in a human body. During conversations with our guides, the Council of Elders, and members of our soul group, we prepare for our next incarnation. The karma accumulated from our deeds, mistakes, and achievements is assessed and discussed. At this point, the soul decides what lessons it wishes to learn to make further progress in its development. Where to go and who to be in its next life to have the best opportunity to work on its goals. Based on this, we are offered new bodies, the events that will befall us in our new life, and the conditions in which we will live. Many events in our lives may be pre-planned, but much may also depend on us. Events may be planned, but our reaction to them is up to us. There are also many alternatives in life, and much depends on our free will. Our guides often give us several different bodies, parents, and life stories to choose from. We carefully consider them and make a thoughtful decision. We often arrange with other souls to live as acquaintances, friends, or spouses. In this way, the soul begins life in a new body after carefully choosing it. The next stage of the reincarnation cycle begins. This is the image of the spiritual world, based on the consistent accounts of thousands of Dr. Newton's patients. It is consistent with other sources of knowledge. This world is similarly described by people who, as a result of clinical death, left their bodies and passed to the other side of reality. Similarly, spiritualists in the 19th century described the spiritual world based on their conversations with spirits. If you would like to learn more about Dr. Newton's discoveries, I encourage you to read his books. His first fundamental book describing the life of souls is Journey of Souls.